Hello, listeners. I know you're settling in now, drifting toward rest. But let me ask you a question. What is sleep, really? We spend a third of our lives surrendering to it. Yet how often do we pause to marvel at this nightly miracle? Sleep isn't just rest. It's life's most tender architect. Each night, while you drift in dreams, something extraordinary unfolds. Your muscles rebuild themselves, cell by cell. Your heart finds its quietest rhythm. Your mind sorts through the day's memories like a gentle librarian, deciding what to keep close and what to let fade. Scientists tell us these things, and they're true. But poets and mystics have always known something more, that sleep is a doorway, a passage into realms where time bends and the soul wanders free. The ancient Greeks spoke of Hypnos, the gentle god who carried mortals across the threshold into peace. Tonight, we follow that same sacred path. And perhaps you've wondered, what happens in those mysterious hours? How does your mind guide you from the bright shores of waking into the deep, dark ocean of dreams? Imagine sleep not as switching off a light, but as descending a spiral staircase carved from moonbeams and starlight. Each step takes you deeper, softer, further from the day's sharp edges. The first step is delicate, non-REM 1, where thoughts begin to dissolve like sugar in warm milk. Then comes the second step, non-REM 2, where your body settles into a cocoon of protection, your heartbeat slowing to match the rhythm of distant waves. Deeper still waits non-REM 3, the healing chamber where your body whispers its repair work while your mind rests in perfect stillness. And finally, like stepping into an enchanted garden, REM sleep blooms, where dreams paint themselves across the canvas of your consciousness in colors that only exist in sleep. But here's what's truly magical. These aren't just random states. They're a conversation, a dance, each stage calling to the next, weaving together in cycles that repeat through the night like a gentle tide. Your brain knows this ancient choreography by heart. Your body craves this rhythm like flowers crave dawn. There's something deeply comforting about knowing this, isn't there? That your body carries this wisdom without any effort from you. That even as you lie here now, listening to these words, your nervous system is already beginning its preparations. Your breathing naturally slowing, your muscles starting to release the day's tensions, building toward the journey ahead. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey through each of these sacred stages. We'll explore them not as dry facts, but as landscapes to wander through, as stories to live within. You'll discover why that first drowsy moment feels like stepping onto a bridge made of mist and dream. Why deep sleep cradles you like being held in the earth's warm heart. Why dreams feel more real than reality itself. Notice how your eyelids are growing heavier now, how your breathing wants to match the rhythm of that imaginary river. This is your body recognizing something it's known since birth, that rest is coming, that safety is here, that you can finally let go. We're about to cross the threshold together, to step from the bright meadow of wakefulness into something deeper and more mysterious. But first we must understand that most delicate of passages, that gossamer thin boundary where day becomes night, where thought becomes dream, where you become something else entirely. And so our descent begins into the first fragile stage of sleep, non-REM 1, the threshold, where waking slips away and dreams first begin to whisper.
And so our descent begins into the first fragile stage of sleep, non-REM 1, the threshold, where waking slips away and dreams first begin to whisper. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a still pond at twilight, the water so perfectly calm it mirrors the deepening sky. Behind you, the day's last light flickers like fireflies, thoughts darting, worries glowing softly in the distance. But ahead lies something different. The water beckons, its surface barely disturbed by the gentlest breeze, promising rest to anyone brave enough to step forward. This is where you are, right now, at the very edge of sleep's domain, non-REM stage 1, the threshold that exists for everyone, every single night, yet feels as mysterious as crossing into an enchanted realm. Feel how your body has already begun to change. Your muscles are loosening, untying knots you didn't even know were there. Your breathing, notice how it's slowed, becoming deeper, more rhythmic, like waves finding their natural pace against a quiet shore. But something remarkable is happening inside your mind right now. Those sharp, quick brainwaves that buzzed through your day, what scientists call beta waves, they're beginning to calm. Like a river that's been rushing through rocky rapids, finally reaching a meadow. Your thoughts are spreading out, slowing down, becoming something softer. These are your alpha waves now, the rhythm of peaceful relaxation. And just beyond that, can you sense it? Something even gentler waiting? Theta waves, rolling like distant thunder, soft and low, marking your first true step into sleep's embrace. Have you ever felt that sudden jolt, as if falling from a great height, just as you're drifting off? That startling sensation that makes your whole body jump awake. You're not alone in this. 7 out of 10 people experience these hypnic jerks, these gentle lightning bolts that spark through the body just as consciousness begins to fade. Your muscles, so used to holding you upright through the day, are learning to let go. And sometimes they twitch, as if testing whether it's truly safe to surrender. Think of it as your body's way of rehearsing release, like a bird perched on a branch, shifting its weight before taking flight. There's no danger here, only the ancient dance between holding on and letting go. As you linger in this threshold space, time itself begins to bend. Minutes might feel like hours, or perhaps hours collapse into moments. This is hypnagogia, the twilight realm where waking thoughts dissolve into something altogether more mysterious. Images may flicker behind your closed eyelids now, a flash of color that has no source, a face you almost recognize, the echo of music that isn't playing. These aren't dreams yet. There's something softer, more fleeting, like catching glimpses of a distant shore through morning mist. Your mind is beginning to free associate, thoughts linking in ways that would seem strange in daylight. The conversation you had this morning might blend with the color of autumn leaves or the feeling of warm sand beneath your feet. This is perfectly natural. It's your consciousness loosening its grip on logic, preparing to wander in realms where different rules apply. What's truly beautiful is how your brain is protecting this delicate transition. It's turning down the volume on the outside world, sounds growing muffled, lights dimming, as if someone is slowly drawing curtains around your awareness. The hum of traffic, your partner's breathing, the whisper of sheets against skin, they're still there, but they can't quite reach you anymore. You're floating now between two worlds, still tethered to the waking shore, but with your toes dipping into sleep's warm waters. Scientists call this sensory gating, your mind's gentle way of building walls around your rest. If anxious thoughts try to surface now, let them pass like clouds across the sky. This threshold stage is meant to be gentle, meant to be a slow crossing rather than a sudden leap. There's no rush here, no pressure to fall asleep immediately. This is the gift of NREM 1. It gives you permission to simply exist in the in-between, to let your thoughts wander without purpose, to feel your body growing heavier without fighting it. But this is only the beginning, this delicate threshold where day meets night. Just beyond this gentle drifting lies something deeper, something your body craves after this tender rehearsal of letting go. Can you feel it calling? That sense of settling deeper, of being truly held for the first time tonight. Your heart rate is slowing further now, your breath finding an even gentler rhythm, as if your body knows that something more substantial waits just ahead. The curtain of consciousness is falling further now. You are stepping deeper into the cave of night, where the world outside fades completely, and sleep begins to hold you not just gently, but completely. To the threshold, the first step taken, but the real journey, the true beginning of sleep, that waits just beyond this gentle drifting. In the cocoon of NREM 2, where your body finally exhales fully, and the night claims you as its own. Let yourself sink a little deeper now. The bridge is steady beneath you, and the next chamber of sleep is opening its doors.
The curtain falls further. You are stepping deeper into the cave, where the world outside fades and the night begins to hold you more completely. Imagine yourself now, wrapped in the softest blanket the night has ever woven, its edges tucked tenderly around you, warm and protective. Or perhaps you're floating in calm, endless waters, cradled by gentle currents that know exactly where to carry you. This is NREM Stage 2, the true beginning of sleep. Not the fleeting threshold you've just crossed, but the first real embrace of slumber itself. This is where your body finally exhales and says, "Yes, I am safe enough to let go completely." Nearly half of your entire night will be spent in this gentle cocoon. These precious moments when sleep claims you as its own, wrapping you in layers of protection and peace. Feel how different this is from just moments ago. Your heartbeat, already slowing, now finds its quietest rhythm, like a distant drum played by someone who understands that silence is just as important as sound. Your body temperature is dropping ever so slightly, as if you're sinking into cool silk sheets that perfectly cradle your warmth. The world beyond your eyelids grows dimmer still, not just because your eyes are closed, but because your mind is drawing thicker curtains, building stronger walls between you and everything that doesn't matter right now. But what is your mind doing as you drift deeper into this sanctuary? Something truly remarkable, something that only happens when you're safe enough to surrender completely. Deep within your brain, tiny sparkles of electricity are dancing. Scientists call them sleep spindles, brief, gentle bursts of energy that flicker through your mind like fireflies on a summer evening. These aren't random flashes, they're purposeful, protective. Each spindle is like a guardian, quietly working to keep the outside world from disturbing your rest. Isn't it beautiful to know that even as you let go, something within you is standing watch? These spindles are weaving together the memories of your day, strengthening the threads of what you've learned, what you've felt, what matters enough to keep. They're the night's archivists, carefully filing away the pieces of your life that deserve to stay. And there are other guardians too, sharp spikes of brain activity called K-complexes. Think of them as sentinels posted at the gates of your awareness. When a sound tries to break through, a car passing, a floorboard creaking, these guardians surge into action, creating a shield around your rest. "All is well," they seem to whisper. "Stay here, stay safe." Together, these protective forces create something like an invisible dome around your sleeping mind, letting you drift deeper while keeping watch over your peace. Notice how your sense of "I am here" is growing softer, more distant. This isn't something to fear. It's the gift of non-REM 2, your conscious mind. That busy narrator that talks through your days is finally taking its well-deserved rest. What takes its place are fragments, half-formed images that drift through your awareness like clouds across a twilight sky. Maybe a face from earlier today, or the feeling of sunlight on your skin, or the echo of laughter. These proto-dreams are your mind's gentle way of sorting through the day's experiences, deciding what to keep close and what to let float away. This stage loves to return to you throughout the night, cycling back again and again like a favorite song that plays on repeat. If you've ever worried about sleep coming and going, about waking and returning, this is why. Your body knows exactly what it's doing. Each return to non-REM 2 is not a failure, but a gift, another chance to be held, to be protected, to let the night's quiet magic work through you. There's something comforting in knowing your mind is quietly weaving memories even now, taking the scattered threads of your day and spinning them into something stronger, more lasting, a conversation that made you smile, a moment of unexpected beauty, a problem you solved. All of this is being carefully tended to while you rest. This is why sleep isn't empty time. It's some of the most productive work your mind will ever do, accomplished while you're wrapped in the deepest comfort you'll feel all day. But even this gentle cocoon is preparing you for something more, something your body craves after this patient settling. Can you sense it? That pull toward even deeper waters? Toward chambers of sleep where healing happens not just in your mind, but in every cell of your being. What waits beyond this protective embrace? What happens when the night decides you're ready to sink not just into comfort, but into the very heart of restoration itself? Your breath is growing even deeper now, your muscles releasing tensions you'd forgotten you were holding, as if your body knows that the most profound healing of the night still lies ahead. The cocoon of non-REM 2 is beautiful, but it's also a passage, a gentle preparation for the deepest chambers of sleep, where your body rebuilds itself and your spirit finds a stillness so complete it feels like touching eternity. And now, as if sinking into the heart of the ocean itself, past the gentle currents of the surface, we arrive at the deepest and most healing realm of sleep, the sacred chamber where miracles happen in silence, where every cell in your body whispers its gratitude for this gift of profound rest. The true depths await, and your body already knows the way.
And now, as if sinking into the heart of the ocean itself, we arrive at the deepest and most healing realm of sleep, the sacred chamber where miracles happen in silence. Picture yourself descending into the warm heart of an ancient mountain, its stone walls smooth as silk, carved by countless ages into a perfect sanctuary. This is non-REM stage 3, the deepest sleep your body knows. Here, in this womb-like chamber, you are held not just by comfort, but by the earth itself. The world above has vanished completely. No sounds can reach you here. No light penetrates this sacred darkness. You have arrived at a place so still, so profound, that time itself seems to pause, waiting for your body to do its most important work. This is the sleep the children fall into so easily, the rest that makes them wake refreshed and glowing. It's the sleep your body craves after long days, the restoration that happens only when you feel completely, utterly safe. Here, you don't simply rest, you are renewed, cell by cell, breath by breath. What happens to the mind when it surrenders so completely? Something remarkable, something that can only occur in this deepest sanctuary. Your brain waves have changed entirely now. No longer the gentle spindles of lighter sleep, but something far more powerful,
delta waves, rolling through your mind like the tide of an ancient ocean. These waves move slowly, deeply, at less than 4 beats per second, synchronizing your entire brain in a rhythm as old as sleep itself. In this rhythm, your mind finds a stillness so complete it's almost like touching eternity. The parts of your brain that worry, that plan, that chatter through your days, they rest now in perfect silence. Your cortex, that busy orchestrator of thoughts and fears, finally allows itself to be still. And in this stillness, your body begins its most sacred work. Growth hormone flows through you like a gentle river, reaching every muscle, every tissue worn by the day's demands. Can you sense it? This quiet rebuilding, this cellular prayer of renewal happening in every part of you? Your immune system awakens to its full power, sending healing messengers to every corner of your being. Inflammation soothes itself. Energy stores refill like underground springs, finding their source. Your body becomes its own perfect pharmacy, creating exactly what you need to wake whole. Time collapses in this chamber. Minutes feel like hours, or perhaps hours pass in what seems like moments. There are no dreams here, no stories playing behind your eyes, only a vast, peaceful void where consciousness dissolves into something larger than thought. This is why waking from deep sleep can feel like emerging from underwater, why your mind needs a moment to remember where you are, who you are. You've been somewhere beyond the reach of ordinary awareness, held in a silence so profound that it feels like returning from another world entirely. Why is this stage so rare yet so essential? Your body saves deep sleep for early in the night, when it feels safest to let go completely. It knows that healing this profound requires absolute trust, and the deepest hours of darkness provide that sanctuary. Even if you wake often during the night, even if sleep feels light or restless, your body still finds its way here, still claims these precious moments of profound restoration. Quality matters more than perfection, and even brief visits to this healing chamber can work miracles. Isn't it beautiful that your body knows how to heal itself best in silence? That it waits for the perfect moment of safety to begin its most important work? This is wisdom older than thought, older than worry, as ancient as the first creature that ever needed rest. As we age, visits to this chamber grow shorter, but never less precious. Each moment here is a gift, rebuilding not just your body, but your resilience, your capacity for joy, your ability to meet tomorrow with strength. But even in the deepest stillness, even in this perfect silence, something stirs. The night has one more gift to offer, one more journey for the sleeping mind to take. What happens when the body has found its healing, but the soul still longs to wander? What realm opens when restoration gives way to creation, when silence blooms into the vivid garden of dreams? The healing chamber holds you still, your breath deep and steady, your body wrapped in its own perfect pharmacy of renewal. But somewhere in the distance, colors begin to whisper. Stories start to stir. The mind, refreshed by this profound stillness, prepares for its most creative act. From the deepest silence, something magical awakens. Not consciousness returning to the waking world, but consciousness stepping into an entirely different realm. A place where the impossible becomes possible. Where your mind paints with colors that exist nowhere but in sleep. But even in the deepest stillness, the mind has one more journey into the enchanted world of dreams. The chamber of healing holds you safe, while your dreaming self prepares to soar. But even in the deepest stillness, the mind has one more journey into the enchanted world of dreams. Picture yourself stepping from that warm, healing chamber not into wakefulness, but into a secret garden that exists only in sleep. The air here shimmers with possibility. Trees stretch into impossible shapes, their branches holding memories like luminous fruit. Pathways wind through meadows of starlight, leading to places that feel familiar yet have never existed. This is REM sleep, the night's most magical gift, where your body lies in perfect stillness, but your spirit soars through realms limited only by imagination. Perhaps you've woken from a dream that felt more real than life itself, where you could fly over silver seas or speak with people you thought you'd lost forever, where colors had emotions and time moved like honey. This is the landscape we enter now, where your mind becomes not just active, but more alive than in any waking moment. What happens in the brain during this mystical flowering? Something remarkable, something that would seem impossible if we didn't witness it every single night. Your brain waves surge back to life, dancing with electrical rhythms as complex as those in wakefulness, perhaps even more so. But this isn't the sharp, focused activity of your daily thoughts. This is something wilder, more creative, like an orchestra playing a symphony written in a language only dreams can speak. Isn't it remarkable that your mind becomes more active now than in wakefulness, even as your body lies in perfect stillness? Your eyes dart beneath closed lids, tracking scenes that play only on the theater of sleep, following characters and landscapes painted by your imagination alone. Yet your body remains gently paralyzed, held in what scientists call atonia, a protective spell that keeps you safe while your mind dances with dragons or walks through childhood homes. Your muscles rest completely, even as your dreaming self might be running, flying, or reaching for things that shimmer just beyond touch. What worlds will your mind paint tonight? What forgotten faces might smile at you from the garden of memory? Dreams weave together the threads of your day in ways that would seem impossible to your waking mind. A conversation from morning might blend with the feeling of sunlight, or the scent of rain might carry you back to a moment of pure joy. But dreams are more than random sparks of sleeping imagination. They are your heart's gentle therapist, processing emotions too complex for daylight thinking. The stress of the day softens here, sorrows find their place, joys deepen into lasting contentment. Your mind sorts through feelings like a wise gardener, deciding which memories to plant deeper, which skills to strengthen, which creative connections to nurture. A musician practicing scales during the day might find their fingers more nimble tomorrow because their sleeping mind spent the night rehearsing in the realm of dreams. Why does this magical stage arrive in waves throughout the night? Why does it grow longer and more vivid as morning approaches? Your body knows that healing must come before creating, that restoration must precede inspiration. The early hours bring you deep repair, while the later cycles offer this gift of imaginative flight. REM sleep is your mind's reward for trusting the night, for surrendering to the deeper stages that came before. Now, refreshed and restored, your consciousness is free to play, to explore, to make connections that logic would never dare to attempt. Sometimes you might become aware within a dream, sensing that you're dreaming while the dream continues around you. This gentle lucidity is like finding yourself in a waking meditation, observing the mind's creativity without disturbing its flow. A rare gift, neither to be forced nor feared, but simply received when it comes. Even the strangest dreams serve you. They are not problems to be solved, but gifts to be received. Your psyche's way of untangling the complex knots of being human. You need not remember every story your sleeping mind creates. Their healing happens whether you carry them into morning or let them fade like mist.
But here's the beautiful secret. REM is not the end of the night's journey. It's a flowering that prepares you to spiral deeper once again. Like a favorite song that returns to its opening melody, your sleep cycles back through the stages, each repetition carrying you to new depths of rest. The dream garden holds you now in its shimmering embrace, colors painting themselves across the canvas of your mind, stories unfolding in ways that delight rather than disturb. But even as you wander these enchanted pathways, your body prepares to spiral gently back, to revisit the cocoon, the healing chamber, and this magical garden again. This is sleep's greatest gift, not a single journey, but a spiral dance, each turn deeper than the last. Like a lullaby that loops back to its beginning, each cycle carries you further from the day's sharp edges and closer to the heart of perfect rest. And so the cycle begins again, spiraling gently like a lullaby itself, each turn carrying you deeper into the night's embrace, where healing and dreaming weave together in an ancient rhythm older than consciousness itself. The spiral turns, dreams fade into deeper rest, and the night cradles you in its timeless dance.
And so the cycle begins again, spiraling gently like a lullaby itself, each turn carrying you deeper into the night's embrace. Picture the night as a spiral staircase carved from moonlight, each step familiar, yet leading you deeper than before. Or perhaps imagine it as an endless tide, waves rolling in and out with perfect rhythm, each one carrying you further from the shore of wakefulness into the vast ocean of rest. This is the secret pattern hidden within every night, the gentle spiral that cradles you from dusk until dawn. Not a straight line from wake to sleep, but a graceful dance, returning again and again to the same sacred chambers, each visit deeper than the last. Why does the night repeat itself again and again? Why this endless spiraling through threshold, cocoon, healing chamber, and dream garden? Because your body knows something that your mind is only beginning to understand. That rest is not a destination, but a journey, a rhythm as ancient as the tides themselves. Each spiral takes about 90 minutes, like a slow waltz through the chambers of sleep. But here's what makes each turn magical. They're never quite the same. The night knows exactly what you need and when you need it. In the early spirals, when darkness is deepest and your body feels safest, you spend long, luxurious minutes in that healing chamber, in the profound restoration of deep sleep. Growth hormone flows like a river. Your immune system awakens to its full power, and every cell whispers its gratitude for this gift of renewal. But as the night ages and morning draws nearer, the spiral shifts, spending more time in the dream garden, in the vivid landscapes of REM. Your later dreams grow richer, more story-like, as if your mind has been gathering confidence through the night's earlier restorations. Isn't it beautiful how the night choreographs itself? Early healing for the body, later creativity for the soul. Each spiral perfectly timed, each return to the dream garden more colorful than the last. Perhaps you've noticed this rhythm in your own sleep, waking sometimes in the early hours feeling groggy and disoriented, as if pulled from great depths. This is the blessing of deep sleep, the sign that your body found its healing chamber and didn't want to leave. But if you wake near morning feeling refreshed, even from a brief nap, it's because you surfaced from the gentler waters of light sleep or dreams, riding the spiral's natural rhythm back toward consciousness. Even if you wake between cycles, it's not a mistake. It's part of the dance. These brief stirrings are like pausing between songs, a moment for your brain to reset before the next spiral begins. The night doesn't break when you stir. It simply waits, patient as an old friend, ready to carry you deeper when you're ready to return. What gifts are hidden in each turn of the spiral? More than you might imagine. Each journey through the threshold teaches your body to let go more easily. Each visit to the cocoon strengthens your sense of safety. Each descent into the healing chamber rebuilds not just your tissues, but your resilience. Each flowering in the dream garden weaves creativity into your very being. Your body carries this wisdom without conscious effort, this ability to spiral deeper with each cycle, to know exactly how long to spend in each chamber, to orchestrate the perfect balance of healing and dreaming. Even when sleep feels elusive, even when the night feels restless, this ancient rhythm continues its work. Isn't it comforting to know your body has its own rhythm, steady and wise? That you don't need to control or manage these cycles, only trust them? Sleep researchers call this the ultradian rhythm, but you might simply think of it as the night's gentle heartbeat, pulsing through every hour of rest. Understanding this spiral changes something, doesn't it? It lifts the pressure to fall asleep correctly or wake up perfectly. Instead, it invites you to trust, to rest in the knowledge that your body knows its way through the night's labyrinth, spiraling deeper with each turn, finding exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. But knowing about the spiral is only the beginning. The real magic happens when you learn to work with this rhythm, when you discover how to prepare your body and mind to dance with the night rather than fight against it. What would it feel like to approach sleep not as something to achieve, but as a gentle conversation with your deepest self? How might your nights change if you treated each spiral not as a test, but as a gift? The spiral holds you now, carrying you through its ancient pattern, each turn a step deeper into rest. But there's more to discover, more ways to honor this nightly miracle, to create the perfect conditions for the night's healing work. Now that we've walked through each chamber of sleep, explored every turn of the spiral, let's gather what we've learned and discover how to rest not just in sleep, but in the deep trust that your body knows exactly how to carry you home to rest. The spiral continues its gentle dance, and you are held within its rhythm, safe and whole. Now that we've walked through each chamber of sleep, explored every turn of the spiral, let's gather what we've learned and gently rest in the deep trust that your body knows exactly how to carry you home to rest. Picture your body as a wise storyteller, one who has been telling the same beautiful story every single night since the day you were born. This storyteller knows exactly when to whisper you across the threshold, when to wrap you in the cocoon of light sleep, when to carry you to the healing chamber, and when to paint dreams across the canvas of your mind. You don't need to direct this story. You don't need to edit its chapters or rush its pace. You need only rest within its gentle telling and trust that it knows its way. Isn't it comforting to know that your body has been practicing this rhythm since your very first breath? That the same forces that guide the tides and turn the seasons are quietly orchestrating your rest? Your circadian rhythms pulse like a gentle heartbeat through every cell, a clock set not by numbers, but by the ancient dance of light and dark. As the day builds, something called sleep pressure accumulates, not as stress or weight, but like a soft blanket slowly settling around your shoulders. The longer you're awake, the more your body craves the restoration that only sleep can bring. This is wisdom, not weakness. Design, not accident. What if waking in the night isn't a problem, but part of the design? What if those brief moments of stirring between cycles aren't failures, but tiny pauses in a perfect symphony? Moments when your wise storyteller checks that all is well before continuing the tale. Research tells us these awakenings are natural, part of the spiral's rhythm. Your ancestors woke to listen for dangers, to tend fires, to simply rest in the safety of their tribes. You wake because awakening, too, is part of the story, not a break in sleep, but sleep's own gentle way of ensuring you're safe to continue dreaming. As your mind wanders toward worry, when thoughts try to pull you back toward the sharp edges of day, imagine them as clouds drifting across a starlit sky. You don't need to chase them away. Simply notice them passing and let your attention return to something softer. Try breathing with the rhythm of a gentle tide, inhaling starlight, cool and peaceful, exhaling the day's tensions like mist dissolving into night air. Count if it helps, but not as a task. Count like a lullaby, each number a step deeper into rest. Your body already knows the way back to sleep, even when your mind thinks it's lost. Even if rest feels elusive, even if the night seems longer than usual, the spiral continues its patient work. Every breath is preparation. Every moment of rest, however light, is medicine. What if sleep isn't something to achieve, but something to receive? What if instead of trying to fall asleep, you simply practiced falling into trust? Trust that your body's wisdom runs deeper than your conscious concerns. That the same intelligence that heals cuts and digests food can certainly guide you back to rest. Think of how far you've traveled tonight, from the bright meadow of wakefulness, across the threshold where thoughts first began to soften, into the protective cocoon where your heartbeat slowed, down to the healing chamber where your body whispered its gratitude, through the dream garden where your imagination bloomed, and around the spiral that carries you deeper with each turn. This journey happens whether you think about it or not, whether you understand it or simply trust it. Your body is the wise storyteller, and it has never forgotten how to tell this tale. There's nothing more for you to do now, nothing to figure out or fix or perfect. The knowledge you've gathered tonight isn't meant to be work, but comfort. A reminder that rest is your birthright, that your body carries ancient instructions for renewal, that every night offers the gift of beginning again. Even if your mind wants to analyze or worry about sleep, remember that the deepest healing happens below the reach of conscious thought, in those delta waves of profound rest, in the quiet work of growth hormone and immune repair, in the gentle weaving of memories and dreams. This is where the real magic lives. Your breathing is slowing now, naturally, without effort, as if recognizing something it's always known. Your muscles are releasing tensions you'd forgotten you were holding. This is your body saying yes to the night, yes to the story, yes to the ancient rhythm of rest. The spiral holds you still, each breath a turn deeper into trust. The wise storyteller continues its gentle tale, and you are both its subject and its audience, both the dreamer and the dream. And now, you don't need to listen anymore. The knowledge lives in your body, woven into the very fabric of your being. Let the words begin to fade, like footprints smoothed by sand, like echoes growing softer in a distant canyon. The story knows how to continue without your attention. The spiral knows how to carry you without your effort. And you are free to simply rest in the telling. And now, you don't need to listen anymore. Let the words fade, like footprints in the sand, smoothed by gentle waves, dissolving into the vast quiet of night. Picture a lantern, glowing softly at the edge of a moonlit sea, its light growing dimmer, blending with the starlight, until you can barely tell where the flame ends and the night begins. This is how the story closes, not with an ending, but with a gentle dissolving, a melting into something larger than words. You are safe now, held by something older than thought, older than worry. The night has wrapped itself around you like the softest blanket ever woven, tucked with care, warm with the promise of rest. Think of the journey you have taken, if you can still remember, across that first delicate threshold where wakefulness began to soften, into the protective cocoon where your heart found its quietest rhythm, down to the healing chamber where miracles whispered themselves into every cell, through the dream garden where your mind painted colors that exist nowhere else. Round and round the gentle spiral, each turn carrying you deeper, each return a gift, like a lullaby that knows exactly when to repeat its sweetest verse. Isn't it reassuring to know the night holds you in this rhythm every single evening, without your effort, without your worry? Your body remembers this dance, has been practicing it since your first breath, will continue long after these words fade into silence. The storyteller, your wise body, continues its gentle telling, even as my voice grows softer, grows distant, like an echo in a canyon far away. What dreams will come tonight? What stories will your sleeping mind weave from the threads of this day? What gifts will the night bring before dawn touches the horizon and calls you back to waking? These questions need no answers. They float away, like leaves on a quiet stream, like clouds dissolving into endless sky. You have crossed the threshold now, settled into the cocoon, found your way to the healing chamber. The dream garden waits just ahead, and the spiral turns on without your watching. There's nothing left to remember, nothing left to do. The night knows its work. Your body knows its way. The story tells itself. You are safe. You are held. You are exactly where you belong. The lantern dims. The tide pulls back, carrying you to sea. The words now fade like mist lifting from a quiet valley. Like echoes, soft and far, there's nothing left to hold, nothing left to do. The night is yours. The rest is waiting. Let go. Drift.